10 minutes to the top of the hour, Australian Eastern Daylight Time right now in Australia. It is coming up to 11 a.m. in the United Kingdom. In this hour, we have learnt that the former Prince Andrew has been arrested. Mark Dolan is our colleague and friend. Normally we muck around, but let's get into this here, which is he has been arrested on the suspicion of misconduct in public office. It goes back to his time as the trade envoy, which he was for the United Kingdom from 2001 to 2011. Where do we know him to be or think to where he is right now? Is he still on the estate, or, as our mate from ITV was telling us before, Mark, there's a chance he may well be in a police station as we speak?
Yeah, it's my understanding he is in police custody. Thames Valley Police have taken the former Prince Andrew to a police station, and he's being questioned about alleged misconduct in public office, Paul. So, yeah, he's been detained. Let me be clear to your viewers. This is without historic precedent. This is the monarchy and King Charles's worst nightmare. There is no historic example of a leading senior member of the royal family questioned by police. Early hours of today, cops turned up at Sandringham, which is the royal estate in Norfolk. That's, of course, where Andrew has had to live now, having left the Windsor estate and the Royal Lodge. And he served as a trade envoy for 10 years. The allegation and the alleged crime that is being investigated by cops is that as a trade envoy, he shared classified documents with the disgraced late paedophile Jeffrey Epstein. Now, that would be misconduct in public office. And be clear, Paul, that could come with a jail term if he is charged and successfully prosecuted.
Yeah, like everyone, trying to get across this as fast as we can, trying to work out about whether there's a statute of limitations. Obviously, police to be taking the action they are now would suggest that's not the case. Also, a little quirk of the system is that, yes, the King has the capacity to present pardons, but it is only ever upon the information and advice of government. So you would expect neither of those things upon a conclusion of a process and not being the one that the former prince would want. However, we are not in a scenario of an adjudication of guilt or innocence. We are not in a scenario of him being charged, and we are in this scenario where, yes, being arrested, but arrested means to be interviewed theoretically, potentially against his will, but that is happening as we speak. Again, to the historic nature of this, it all perhaps, and I'm not suggesting in any way that the palace has the inside running weeks and weeks in advance, right? But we know the decision was made, get rid of him from the house in which he used to live, take him to this new estate. As we've spoken before, that estate is a much more secluded property. So hence why the pictures which are available that are starting to come through now, they are of the police arriving and not the long lens of a front door at this stage.
Well, that's exactly right. And of course, it's important to stress that, as you mentioned, that no charges have been presented yet. And also, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor denies all allegations. But what may have happened as an official government trade envoy, he may have signed the Official Secrets Act. He certainly will be bound by rules around confidentiality. So it could be a serious offence. And let's not forget that, looking back at history, the notorious gangster Al Capone wasn't done for his activities as a gangster. They got him on income tax. And you just wonder whether these allegations surrounding Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, of course, it's across the board: national security, classified documents, and the potential trafficking of young women into Buckingham Palace. Well, it could be that his role as a trade envoy does for him. We don't know if that's going to happen yet, but there is a paper trail, at least a digital paper trail, because since the release of the Epstein files, it's come to our attention that Andrew was emailing Jeffrey Epstein some of these classified documents minutes after bilateral meetings with overseas governments. So he's definitely in a degree of trouble.
Yeah, extraordinary. I'm just looking here about some information which is coming to us via the BBC, which is about how long he could be held in this scenario where there is no charge, but there is the interview taking place as we speak. Now, that is apparently something that could go as high as 96 hours. The reporting of the BBC, however, is between 12 and 24, but regardless of how long this process goes, to have gone from the balcony at Buckingham Palace for royal jubilees to the police turning up and potentially into a police station. Again, we are talking about history before our eyes, and that is what's worth noting as we speak.
It's wild, isn't it, Paul? Let's not forget, this is the man that had everything. A military hero, served in the Royal Navy, the Falklands War, the best-looking member of the royal family, endless girlfriends. The world was his oyster. Of course, he was the Queen's favourite son. And what would the Queen make of these shocking pictures and this shocking set of headlines surrounding Andrew? How the mighty have fallen. It's a huge headache, and I can bring you up to speed. Thames Valley Police have issued a statement. They've said, as part of an investigation, today we've arrested a man in his 60s from Norfolk on suspicion of misconduct in public office and are carrying out searches at addresses in Berkshire and Norfolk. Well, that coded language is so damning, Paul. This gentleman who's 66, and of course he turned 66 today, it's a very unhappy birthday, that is Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. And when we talk about address in Berkshire and Norfolk, the address in Berkshire is Windsor and Windsor Castle and the Windsor Estate. Norfolk is Sandringham. So this is a nightmare on wheels for the king.
All right. Thank you so much, Mark. Mark Dolan, of course, TalkTV in the United Kingdom. We will talk again